So I'm Jessica Layla. I am white British and Ugandan Asian. My mum is white British and my father is from Uganda, but is ethnically Indian. One of the things that I've found living in the UK and being mixed is that there's something about having to explain yourself to people, and I think being reduced to the darkest part of your mix, people expect you to identify with that and are surprised when you don't necessarily identify with that, or you don't see that as the main part of your identity. There's a lot of assumptions that are made about you, and I think that it's quite nice to be able to subvert people's expectations, but having to explain yourself constantly can become quite tiring, and it can become a bit more of an arduous task, I guess, sort of having to navigate the world and having to constantly come up against that question of where are you from, and the implication not being where are you from and Hertfordshire not being an appropriate answer to that question, but the question actually being why are you brown and why are you here and why are you a little bit different. And I think that's quite a profound thing that makes you think about yourself quite a lot and where you fit into the world. I was talking recently to a friend about how, as a white woman, when she goes into a room, there's no one looking at her thinking, having that split-second thought of analysing that person and thinking, oh, I wonder where she's from. I wonder whether she speaks English. I wonder whether she was born here. That doesn't happen to her, and you can see it in people's faces as it flickers through. And I don't necessarily think it's a particularly negative thing, but it adds something about being a bit different, and you're constantly aware of that sense of difference. But it's not all negative. I like to be a bit different. I like that I can subvert people's expectations. I like that the things that made me weird when I was a kid growing up in Hertfordshire now make me interesting and a bit different.